Liz.
Oh, the only one here in person, not.
So far, how you doing? How we doing?
Jason, no, I'm Brandon.
Oh, great. Well, welcome. Have a seat anywhere. No, it's packed. But
Well,
yeah, they switched my class.
that's
So some of the class might be in the other room. You never know. So, are you new to real estate in
Yes.
general?
Well,
Awesome.
other than the fact that I've been a buyer investor, I'm new to being a real broker,
I see.
a realtor.
So you've done investment properties personally?
Yeah. But I was doing that as a hobby,
I
so
see.
that's me.
Cool.
I worked for a big company for a long time and
Nice.
decided it's time to do something different. Thanks.
Where'd you order these from?
Agent store.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they had the silver's
Yeah.
nice touch and the curves.
The picture looks good. It came out even better than the picture. Yeah,
That-
beautiful car.
Yeah. I love how these turned out.
you.
So is that your goal to get into the investing side of things?
No,
or-
no, I've also bought and sold enough homes myself. Some that I bought to fix up and sell, and some I bought to live in, fix up and sell. Some I just bought to live in. And that's really what I want to do.
For
I
other
want to
people.
help other people find the house of their dreams. I want to help people move out of their house so they can go get the house of their dreams.
Love that.
Yeah, that's really what I want to do.
Well, and I love your branding. I don't know.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I mean, you gotta separate yourself somehow.
That's
so.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna play when it's 100, but.
Amen. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, well, today's class is doable video marketing. So I'll be showing you basically the tools that you have with KW to make that doable and not spend hours working on a video.
Great.
Yeah, because you'll go to classes and you'll hear video is all the rage,
Yeah.
right? And what they're talking about is if you post a picture on social media, it gets in front of your friends. If you post a video, they will blast it out to unmets, people you don't know,
Yeah.
right? So and it's free, obviously, for you to post that. So it's a free way to get in front of people you don't know.
Right.
Now, if you go on social media and see real estate videos, right, that are professionally done, those agents are spending hundreds, if not thousands per month on video. That's not the goal starting out. That's not where the return on investment is not there. Right. So I'm going to show you how you can do it in a doable way. You know, when you have listings and things like that,
Yeah.
Great professional videographer at that point, right? But in the meantime, how you can do it with command and everything and your
That would be
campaigns.
Yeah, that would be great.
Great, okay. So the first thing I want to show you guys is actually in Command, there's a super easy way to create neighborhood videos in Command. It does it for you. It has the content as far as it puts it together. It knows the data from the MLS for the neighborhood. So the first thing I'm going to show you, and might recommend doing this, let's say every Friday, like a featured neighborhood in Greater Charlotte that is popular for buyers to look at, right? People are always interested in the top neighborhoods. And this is a great way to do it in a way that's easy. It does it for you. And you're getting, right, they look at your page and they know you're in real estate immediately. And let me know if you need help getting into Command or anything. I don't know how much you've played with the tech tools yet.
Just got onboarded Monday, so. I've
So
got a
very-
lot- Yeah.
Okay, well, too, after this, we'll schedule a time that we'll meet one-on-one as
That'd be
well.
great.
And then we can go through all of this. Of
Oh, that'd be
course.
great. Okay.
So first we're going to Command. So that is agent.kw.com. So it's like the agent login for kw.com. So it'll be agent.kw.com. Actually, I am in Caldea's account, so let me switch real quick. Hey, where's that? It's DJ Kennedy. How are you? Okay, and the other tab that if you want to go ahead and open another tab, we're also going to be working in Canva today. I don't know if you've been told yet that you have a pro Canva account with your KW affiliation.
I was told I haven't gotten into there yet.
Awesome.
I'm told it exists.
Great, we'll do that as well. And we can go ahead and just to make sure we have both open like I do on my screen, open a new tab and go to it's specifically canva.kw.com is where you go. So not canva.com, canva.kw.com. And if you're not already logged in, it'll always take you to the command login screen. So it's your command login to get into this Canva. And you'll notice that it has that KW Canva here at the top. And I can always help you navigate to that as well. Okay, so canva.kw.com, and that would be the command login, same one we use to log in here. Okay, so first though, let's go on over to the tab that has that red KW at the top. I'm going to show you how to make that neighborhood video. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is navigate on over to the design section. So on the left-hand side of command, right, these are all the icons on the menu. As you're learning the navigation around command, clicking the KW logo on the very top left pans it out so you can get a hang of what the icons mean. And of course, there's a lot you can learn in command. What I'll tell you in our meeting is what you should prioritize learning, and I'll help you implement it together.
Okay.
So just to not get overwhelmed at everything here, well, I'll show you the order you should learn it and be implementing. So first of all, in designs here, after you click on the menu on the left-hand side, it always wants you to look for the greenish button on the top right. So that's the next action button. So we click on the menu on the left and then look for that, they call it Kelly Green button on the top right. That in this case, that's create design. This is a very cool feature that command has. It has a video option, and this is where it creates a neighborhood video for you. So all we're going to have to do is really verify what neighborhood we want to be in and verify our contact info, which it pulls in automatically, and it creates that for you. Okay, so I selected video, and it takes me to select a neighborhood. Okay, so now I'm able to put in a neighborhood. This is typically talking about residential neighborhoods, but I mean, I'd like to try actually. Let me try Indian Land, see just what pops up. Typically I do this for residential, but I'm sorry, for neighborhoods, like as in, you know, Hunter Oaks or small neighborhoods. Are you from Charlotte?
Yeah, for about 13 years.
Okay, awesome. Where'd you move from?
Southern California.
Oh, wow. Big
Yeah.
change, huh?
Yeah, big change.
So in this case, I'm going to try out Indian Land to see what info that gives me. Okay, so, but of course you could type in Hunter Oaks, your neighborhood, whatever neighborhood you're trying to farm. Okay, and I'll give you ideas of how to execute and post this out most effectively. And then we'll click that green button on the bottom right. I believe that says next. Okay, and it'll pull in that information for you. So it's pulling in that information from the MLS based on the neighborhood lines that Nextdoor, like the Nextdoor app, sets those neighborhood lines, and then it pulls in that data. So in general, what I would recommend, I over it to make sure it looks in general correct, right? If something looks off, you can always go fact check yourself, but in general, it pulls that in correctly. And then you can scroll down and see, right, it's gonna automatically put all this in the video. When you scroll down, you'll see your agent information automatically pops in. The main thing I noticed is I have to just go in and put in my phone number again. But everything should automatically pop in for you. Same with the market center information. This all pulls in from your command marketing profile. So you can click it to see what's going in there, but it should automatically display it. And then we click on that green button on the bottom to click next. And it takes maybe 30 seconds. And then I'll show you what the video has created and how to post it out. And it creates the graphics for you, puts in the numbers, makes it time sensitive. It'll show the date. So this is what it created. Wow. I know, thank you. Wow. Like seconds too, right? Exactly. This is impressive. And your contact info will be at the end. So you'll see like your headshot and everything. You got that. It's just like 24 seconds. So I just want to show you the event. It shows your contact info too. It's talking about lifestyle in the area that we chose. Marketing your ad. And then your contact info displays at the end. I know, right? And really we did, typed in the neighborhood name, checked over the info. It does, right? So what I would recommend is doing this every Friday, let's say, and naming it, featured neighborhood Friday. Here's a top neighborhood that buyers are asking about in Charlotte. Or if there's certain investment areas that are prime for investing, that can be why you're featuring the neighborhood, right? There can be different things around it. So once you create that in here, we'll just click save on the bottom. And I'm going to show you how to post it out. So again, we started that whole process in designs, right? And now you'll see if you ever go back to designs, you'll see that these are all my saved designs, things I've worked in the past, right? But just a reminder, we started that process by going to designs and then create design for that video option. But I can always see that right here, so I can come back to it. So it always saves in designs. So now in order to blast it out, you can schedule it in advance in Command, which I love. So I'll show you how you could either, right, you can download it straight from here. So if you want to go straight to social media and post this video, right, the 3 dots on the top right of the video, which you can't see until you hover over the design, which is sneaky, but you'll see an option to download it. And that would download the video to your computer. Okay. And you can post it right to social there. I'm going to show you how Command has the feature that you can schedule it in advance. I love that for time blocking, right? Social media is not worth spending hours on end per day on, right? Creating a system would be sitting down one time creating the content, and I'll show you more of the how, and then a separate time sitting down to schedule it in advance. So it's posting out automatically behind the scenes. Okay. So again, we did that in designs, we created it. Now, if you want to schedule it in advance, you can come over to campaign. So that megaphone icon is anytime we're blasting something out through Command. So just to give you a preview of how you would do this, and I can always help further. Now, you would need a business Facebook account in order to post, or business Instagram from here, and I can always help. Oh, nice, okay. So in order to do that, right, in campaigns, we look for the action button on the top right, that Kelly green button, create campaign. And I do go over each one of these items in the marketing classes every Thursday, so I'll show you how to create a system around each one of them. In this case, we're going to focus on the social post option here. Okay, and if your account's not connected, it will prompt you to reconnect it, or if you need help connecting it to Command, let me know. I can point you in the right direction. Quinn, I think we did that last week, so yours should be connected already, but let me know if not, and I'll help you get yours connected as well. Just a quick setting. But what we're doing here is in the social post section, first of all, if you did link up your Instagram account to, I notice that I always have to click the drop down to select all social media. So just make sure you're clicking that drop down. You can link your Twitter as well. And I'll show you again if you guys need it where that is that you do that. You do it in the settings of Command is where you'd link that up. So I'll show you that if needed. But the main thing we do when scheduling this out, you'll see we put the content in here. I'll show you how. And on the bottom, we pick the day we want it to schedule. Okay. So if you have, a quieter Thursday, right, and you time block for that to schedule it out. Okay. So what I'll do in the content, so this is how I typically do it, is first you'll see where it says add media. It's a really small icon. So I like to point that out. It's like a little picture icon on the left-hand side of the content text box. And we'll click add media. And right now, what you guys need to know is, so this, let me try it first. The browse designs option is going to link to Canva. We just started that Canva partnership this year. So don't click this yet. Let me make sure I can get the video first from that way. Don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. So we're gonna stick to, unfortunately, that's the where we had to download it to our computer, which is fine. It's just that would be easier if I could click on it and click it,
I
right?
suspect that's coming.
It is, yeah. So it goes to an old design platform right now because they were partnered with a different design platform and then switched to Canva. So we'll announce it once that rolls out. But mainly the main thing to know is just you can browse your files on your computer instead, right? We downloaded the video, but obviously that would make a lot more sense if you just like browse designs. But for right now, know that it's browse files. I do have a next level tip here that you do not have to use, but you'll notice that anytime we download something to our computer, it has this file name, right? And this one, right, is nothing, right? Yeah, exactly. So that's what Google Images reads. So if you were to Google your name and look at Google Images, anytime you put something on your social media, you should always rename the file first for those keywords you would want it to pop up. So it's an extra step, but it builds out your social media, your Google Images page automatically. Anyway, so essentially all you do is go into the files on your computer, right click to rename the file. And then I always will put in my first and last name, and it does not have to be the same keywords each time. It's better if it's, slightly switched up because are they going to search real estate agent? Are they going to search Charlotte real estate or realtor? So mixing up, this one's about Indian land, right? And so if someone searched Indian land real estate in that's why you would pop up for this piece of media that we're creating. Let me know if you have questions on that. Okay, so first rename it before adding it to your social media is the takeaway. Okay, as far as the content goes, like the caption, of course, you can think with your own brain, or you can use ChatGPT or Gemini, right? And I lean towards using Gemini, of course, for so Gemini, if you have a pro membership with Gemini with KW as well, as long as you log in with your KW email. So to get to that, it's gemini.google.com, and right, it's the same thing as ChatGPT essentially, right? But Google owns it. But you have pro features here. So it can create unlimited images. It can review unlimited contracts, right? You put your buyer agency in here or a contract from the other side. Tell me, look at this contract. Does it look good? Does it look like it's exploiting my clients in any way, etc. Right? It can really help with that. For this, so what we'll do is, I think it can take the video. Let me see how this looks. So typically what I'll do, instead of just trying to describe the piece of content I'm making a caption for, I just give it to it, right? I usually do this with images, so let's see how it does with a video. But so now I'm going to, and it remembers you after a while. So making sure you're logged in is key. But if you haven't told it, typically we want to tell it to act like a professional real estate agent. And it'll remember that after you tell it the first time, so it starts to understand what you want. And you can tell it in the greater Charlotte area. And give me an engaging social media caption based on the attached video. Now, I find that Chat or Gemini does really well if you tell it exactly what you want. So that's where you'll see some of my goals, and I'm going to tell you more of how I do it. You do not have to remember all this. Obviously, if you just tell it to give you a social media caption, it'll give you something that's good enough. The best practices I use is, telling it an engaging social media based on the attached video with keywords for searchability. You do not have to remember all of this, but these are a strong hook and call to action. And then I'm gonna just highlight an Indian land as a desirable neighborhood for local buyers. So typically what matters in a caption is we want engaging, that word, keywords for searchability, right? So if someone goes on Instagram and searches Indian land real estate, it's checking your caption to see if that aligns, right? And then just to tell you what a strong hook, meaning like the first line, and then, okay, call to action, right? Okay, so I'm gonna see what it comes up with now. And of course, then we can tweak it from there. Sometimes I'll tell it to sound more human, right? So you can always do that. Yeah, because can you tell, like when you go on social media, can you tell which captions are AI?
There are some that jump out.
Yeah,
Like
that are
this one definitely.
obvious. Yeah. And
But then I'm not at the point where I'm ready to say I can tell because some of them are so good that
it's scary.
it's almost like it's too good for somebody to have written that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Why didn't I have it like in school? This would be
Yeah, right.
helpful, like
Right,
research and things like that.
Then you'll learn it.
So, okay, when it gives me this, right, this is a bit too long, in my opinion, right?
Pretty long.
It is long. Like this would be a little better if it was in an email, right? And we could totally throw this in an email. But so now what I'm gonna tell it is remove the fluff. I like to tell it to remove the fluff. That's my versus telling it to make it more concise. I usually tell it to remove the fluff and make it the length that's appropriate for Instagram. I'm just gonna tell it as a specific. Ooh, I like that better already.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. Right, and it gives it to you, obviously you don't have to use all this, but what I would do, so the copy icon is right here, right? So I can copy that whole section. And go back to the icon with the KW, so I can paste that in. Now, just one more thing I would do actually, so you'll notice when you copy and paste it, anything that was bold, it does this.
Yeah, she do other weird things.
Yeah, I don't like, yeah, so.
Make the line break.
Yeah, right, sometimes it gets funky or with some of the emojis, things like that. So then you can just tell it, I would tell it, hey, give this back to me with nothing bolded and recopy and paste it in. So I don't have to take out stars, really is what I would do. Okay, so we have our caption and that media. Okay, so now all we need to do is schedule that, right? So when do we want it to post? Right, we can schedule it for tomorrow. Now, for this specific video, it does say the date in it of the market stats. So it's just a little less, like we don't want to post this out a month later, ideally, right? I would say you could do 2 of them and post one out on the 17th, or like one this Friday, one the next one. But we do want to keep that one a little more timely. I'm going to talk to you about making them more evergreen so you can schedule them whenever, right? But for this one specifically, just keep that in mind. So I'm picking the time and date, so the time kind of hides down there, you'll have to scroll down.
You have opinion on times?
Yes, good question. So typically for social media, mornings are good. When people are getting up and sitting on the toilet, not to give you too much information, but that's why. Another time that it's good, so around lunch, they'll check social media. So morning, lunch, and then evenings for social media are good too, so around 7, 8 when they're off work. In general, I lean towards the mornings if I can. But those are like the prime 3 times. Yeah, let me know if you have questions on that. You'll see that they tell you Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays are typically the strong ones. Weekends are shockingly weak for social media because people aren't on their phones as much. Right, so not prioritizing weekends and prioritizing weekdays is a good one as well. Okay, once you're done with that, you can click schedule post on the top right. And that will show the video instead. You can click schedule. Oh, it wants me to put in a image as well. Here, let me go back and show you that real quick. That's interesting. So it looks like for video posts in there, it does want you to put in an image as well, I guess the cover image. Have you ever, screenshotting on there is actually pretty easy. So like screenshotting an image of the video and just using that is what I would use.
Okay.
And can I see your keyboard if it has? Okay, so on Macs, if you do,
Yeah, shift five.
three,
Oh,
okay,
three
well,
for,
4, well, on my Mac computer, sorry, now you have screenshots.
fine.
When I do that, it allows me to just do a snippet of it. It's not a big deal, you can always crop
well,
those.
I thought that was five.
5, is it? Huh. Square 4 on mine, but maybe I'm just not remembering.
No, it's weird.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm sure there's a way.
Forgot the whole thing.
Yeah, I can always look into that too for iPads. Right, but anyway, screenshotting an image of the video and putting that in is what you would want to do. Okay, so now let me show you how you would do this in Canva as well, because that's where the real scalability comes from. And I'm going to show you how to do this in a doable way that still hits the goals of video marketing, what makes it effective. Okay. So again, where I am now is I'm switching tabs over to this is canva.kw.com. Okay, so canva.kw.com to get to the KW Canva accounts. And just a reminder what the KW one has that the other accounts do not have, right, is it has branded templates. So just the two distinctions on the left-hand side menu. When you're at home, you're looking at your designs, things you've made before. When you click on templates, you're looking at all of Canva's designs, which I like, and we'll come back to this, okay, because there's a lot of great stuff in here. But what you specifically get with the KW branded accounts is if you click on the brand option on the left-hand side, you'll see it's selected the all brand templates. And these are all Keller Williams branded already and in compliance, right? So it takes out some of the work and the worry that am I in compliance, especially for property flyers, right? That's when I would really use this is property flyers or property social media posts. And the listing marketing class is coming up. I'll check that's next week. Those are the main things I use here. Of course, there's also a buyer presentation and listing presentation that's great to go with. But really, it is worth your time to sit down and just kind of look through what you have access to because it's pretty creative. A lot of this we have to change minimally and it's done for you. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit about that now, but I'm going to take you back to all templates on the left-hand side. So this just gives us a little more. There's a little more limitation on the KW created templates, but again, I love that for listings. So that's under brand. But if we click on templates, this is where we're getting everything Canva has. So if you search here, let's say real estate reel. Okay. It will give you pre-created reels that we really have to do minimal editing on. So what I'm going to show you in these next steps is one, how we're going to use one of these already pre-created, right? Because that would be the goal. They already did this for you. Like the contents there, we maybe need to change out our email address, maybe add our headshot if you want to, right? Minimal editing, and then you can post it out. I'm going to show you that. And then two, the next thing is, so your face will always make the post perform 36% better is the number. So I'm going to show you how, it's really difficult to sit there and talk to the camera for a long time, know your script, or it just takes a lot of time and editing. What I'm going to show you after we edit some of these default ones is how you can I'm going to have you do it in your camera, right? Say, here are 3 reasons Charlotte was just voted by Zillow as the #1 or top 3 markets, right? We'll work on phrasing. That's all you're going to say. And then we're going to clip it. Then like you'll see it goes to like these like 5 things, right? So you don't have to say those, but your face is doing the work at the beginning for 4 seconds. And then the information automatically displays after. And I'm going to show you how you can make that a scalable system and reuse that and make it effective. Okay, so first though, let's take a look at what's already in here. So I'm in templates on the left-hand side and I searched real estate reel. Okay, so these are prime for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok if you're on there. Now you can choose any of these to play with. I do like this one. I don't love the colors, but I'll show you how to change it, how to save for a house, right? And of course, this can be tailored to your market too, like how to start investing, if that's right. And then we'll have ChatGPT give us those answers to put in, just to give you an idea how we can change these. I do like also this one, tips for first-time home buyers, three things every first-time home buyer should know, right? And you see it has all the background clips in there, and we can change it if we like, but do you like one of those more than the other?
I'm stunned at what's available
Right.
off the shelf like this, so, I mean, that one's great.
Okay, let's try this one. I haven't played with this one before too. I like the way it looks too.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay, so whatever template you pick, you just click customize this template and it will take you to edit it. And it's shockingly easy, like as far as video editing goes, and editing this is actually shockingly easy in Canva, where, okay, we don't have to edit anything here, right? But all we do to edit it is click on the text, and then you'd be able to type in new text, right? Now you'll see down here on the, let's see if I can, yeah, the timeline, exactly. Right, those are all the different video clips. So, you know, depending on which one you want to edit. Let's see, pull that down. Right, you can click on it, see what it says, and let's see, especially this one, DM home for free. Like we would want to change out the logo, for example, or just remove the fake logo on here, right? So just a reminder, you're not required to have the Keller Williams Valentine logo on your social media post unless it's a listing. So if it's a listing, you do. So if it's a listing video like of the actual house you're listing, yeah, that would be required. However, all other real estate content, you do not need to put in the Keller Williams Valentine logo. Great, okay. The only caveat to that is if you have a personal logo, okay, you would always need to, if you put your personal logo, you would always have to have the Keller Williams logo too, to show the affiliation. The commission did that because, right, they were unclear. Right, there's Candy Homes, the Carolina, right? Are you your own brokerage? No, they're within KW, right? So that's the why. But yeah, in general, you don't have to have the logo unless you're posting your personal logo on there. Then that will always need to have the KW logo with it.
Is there a rule about how big each has to be?
Good question. Typically, it's the same. You'll see it not done this way, but typically you want them the same size for compliance, like your logo and the KW logo in general would want to be about the same size. Now,
Is it just the KW, or is that the whole KW Valentine?
Let's double check the compliance notes too while we're here. And this will be great for you guys to see where those are and everything. So the compliance guidelines, and of course you can always send it to Tasha or Sharon for review. kwbresources.com is where the compliance notes are. Under office resources, you'll see advertising guidelines. And so you'll have to log in here, which is the, the AMC 350, yes. So capital B, lowercase AMC 350. I believe no exclamation mark. And the advertising guidelines. Oh, sorry, what?
I was looking down.
Oh, no worries. It's office resources and advertising guidelines. And it took me to this page. I had to put in a password to get in. Have you already done that?
I've been in this.
Okay,
page,
cool. Yeah, because the password, yeah, I can tell you if you need it.
No,
But I just scrolled down slightly here. This is what we're going to click on, but I do want to point out that here are the Keller Williams Valentine logos, right? So, and I like them because they're all the different formats, like the pure white one with a transparent background, the red KW with the white wording. So then I could layer it nicely on the video, right? Because it would be white with a transparent background. And I can show you how you add those to your Canva in a second here, but advertising guidelines here, I'll click right here. And it's a bit of an overwhelming page, so let me tell you what I do every time I look at it. So I always do the Control F or Command F on yours, which so then I can search, let's say, whatever I'm making. So if I'm making social media or a postcard, right? Let's see. So this is where if you're posting information about a listing, you need the brokerage name, but it doesn't look like Valentine's required. Yeah, I don't see that Valentine's required. So you should be good on that. Either one. Okay, yeah, of course. And now where just if you want to put these logos into your Canva while we're here, right? Again, I went to Office Resources and Advertising Guidelines, and I can click Grab Files here. You'll see it's just Google Drive. So I can download these, and they're just all the different styles so that I can, you'll notice if it looks like that, that means it's a transparent background, right? So just to give you an idea, let's say I'll download that and I'll go back over to Canva. And so if I did want to add that in here, what I would do is on the left-hand side, you'll see uploads, right? And that's where we want to upload like your logo and also the Keller Williams Valentine logo so that I can always come in and grab it. Okay. So then in the future, you can always come to uploads. Just a heads up, organization tip. If it's something that you're going to be coming back to often like this and you don't want it to get buried in your uploads, you can create folders. I do that on mine. I go to folders and click create folder and, we'll name it brand or whatever you want so that you have your headshot in there, your logos, and you can easily grab it for each design. Okay. So I drag that over to get it here. So any adding images, I'll show you how to add your headshot too. When it's highlighted in purple like that, right, that means the editing features up here pertain to that. In this case, I'm going to click the corners so I can resize it as needed. It's a drag and drop kind of feature. And I can add my headshot as well there. You can do so by dragging and dropping it over or even putting it in a frame. Yeah, this is a little next level, but just to show you the elements in here. There's a bunch of elements in here, and we're going to use these more because there's B-roll of Charlotte already in here, okay? Which is great, right? So, but in this case, if I search, let's say, frame, it'll allow me to drag my headshot into, let's say, a circle. So this is the frames. You'll see these different headers here, like frames, graphics, photos. I'll come back to more about how to use that. Specifically, when you're putting in frames, you're looking for that frames category with like the sky background means that you can drag and drop it and the headshot will fit in there. You can also look up phone frame, which I know we did last class, and you can put your headshot in that as well. I'll show you more on that. But let's say I want this right here, the circle, right, for my headshot. I am going to make it smaller and drag it down below the words. And you'll see once I'm centering it, it puts that line in, right? That's what that's showing me. So now I can come to uploads again and drag and drop my headshot in. Wow. Right? Yeah. And it just adds that flair of your headshot getting more engagement. And so you can change any of the words. You can change the font if you want to, the coloring, right? But you can see you don't have to, which is a beautiful thing, right? Just one more tip on how to get things centered outside of like that line dragging and dropping. If you click on it, just a reminder, that's what this pertains to then. The position option here, I use a lot to make sure it's centered. And see, like that one wasn't centered and it just popped it in the middle for me. So just a heads up, anything you click on the position will allow you to center it as well. Okay. So really that's done. Do you have any questions on editing it otherwise? Okay.
No, it's great.
Awesome. So really that next step looks like, okay, we need to download it to our computer and then we can post it on socials. Now you can add music from Canva, just a heads up. So in Elements, there is also music. However, if we're doing this from social media, like if you're planning to go to your social media to post it, I would always select a music in their library because Instagram or Facebook, they partner with artists, with singers. And so if we use their song, they will. Oh, maybe because we didn't move. Oh, okay, there we go. They will push the video more because you're using a trending song because they made a partnership with that artist to get their song out more, right? You're playing their game. That's the why. But so you can add music here, and I would do that if you're scheduling posts in advance. I do that as well. But if I'm posting it directly to social media, it will always perform better if you post it directly to social media and add their song from their sound library. So I'll show you the how on that. So if I click on share on the top right, so first step, I'm going to download that to my computer. Okay, so I'm going to download that. It should default on the MP4 video option. So that's great. And click download. Well, it's downloading. Let me see if I can log into Facebook to show you that final step. Oh, it's Jules' screen. All right, and just a reminder, right? Making sure this is named with keywords, right? You can name it. It should typically download with the name that you put it as in here, like the file name. However, checking on that in the files on your computer and just making sure it's named what you want it to be. And I usually do this from my phone, but let's see how it goes. Okay, so I'm on Facebook. I'm just going to show you ideally how to add a video and add music to it real quick. And then I'll have you guys, great. And then I'll have you guys make a little video with your face featuring it, talking about the top 3 reasons that Charlotte was named the #3 market by Zillow. Okay, so from my Facebook here, from Jules' Facebook rather, I'm looking at her profile, but however you usually post things on Facebook is totally fine. So I'll select that photo/video. I'm going to make sure this is renamed with keywords like my business name for searchability. Let's see. I'm going to see how we add the music on here. Have you ever done, do you usually do it from your phone posting or?
The only way I can do it is my phone. I can't find any of the stuff going for on a laptop.
This one, I don't, and I think a lot of it might be built specifically around that, like for your phone.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna see if I can add.
Understand.
It's been really annoying. I find Facebook to be very
Yes.
user friendly. And I was looking for a place to add the music. No, surely. I'm gonna ask Gemini real quick. But I mean, I usually do it from my phone, so if that's comfortable for you, that's great.
I prefer it on the laptop, but I can't seem to get what I'm trying to do on the laptop.
Yeah, it frustrates me that it's a different layout.
Yeah.
They don't make it easy. How do I add music to a reel in Facebook? Let's find out together.
Oh boy.
Rude. Oh, I should have said from a phone,
Yeah.
from the laptop. Here we go. Oh, interesting. I'm glad we're linked together. It looks like it's saying we have to start on the Meta Business Suite.
See, I've done that.
I don't usually use this either. And you can schedule things out in here as well, right? So I do see agencies that sometimes. Okay, well, let's check it out real quick. Create reel. I wonder if that was hard. That's where the text goes, thumbnail. Aha. And then we can add more audio. Okay, search for audio. Yeah, it's just, okay, here we go. That's just such an odd layout. Because, right, we want to pick one, like, as opposed to searching, the ones that they're saying is trending is what they want you to use. So, not finding your favorite song and instead finding one that you like enough, that's trending, yeah, would make it perform better, right? Because it would show to everyone else who's liked videos with that same audio. So it looks like you can do it, but Meta Business Suite is apparently the answer.
Somebody liked the video about a little cat with that, with that music,
They would be more likely to see your video if you had that.
even if it's
Yeah,
house.
right, exactly, because the algorithm knows it likes that song.
That's fair.
So they'll start even saying, yeah. Isn't that cool? This little thing. Like audio, original audio, okay. As you can see, you can do it either from your phone or from here, but the takeaway would be adding that audio in, which is annoying. However, it's worth the time if you're gonna make a video to do that. Okay, so now if we were going to make a very effective video, which is what I talked about in the Zillow, right? Featuring Charlotte as the top 3 markets by Zillow. Okay, that would be a really effective post to do because it's trending on the news now, right? I see posts like that. So anything that's actively trending, a topic, right? If the Hornets were just in the playoffs, right? So if you made a video talking about that, since people are already talking about it, they're going to see your video. So thinking in terms of what's going on, and if you do make something about that, it can be even a post, people will be way more likely to see it because people are already talking about it. Now, to show you how you would do this, okay, so I'm actually going to go back to home in Canva, and we're going to create this from scratch, and I'm going to show you how you can add Charlotte B-roll, and then 5 things or 3 reasons that it's number 1, or number 3 rather. So what I do is click on create on the left-hand side. And then I can type in reel. So this is just going to give us a blank option. All right, I'll just pick the first one. It's fine. I know there's usually lots of options. Okay. Now you don't have to do this, but I would strongly recommend that when I know you're online, so feel free to do this at home, right? I want you here, we're gonna pull up what that script is gonna be exactly, and all you're gonna say into the camera, you're gonna take a video of yourself. You can either, I have a tripod if you wanna do it, or right, you can just hold it here and we're gonna say something like, here's 3 reasons that Zillow was named in the, that Charlotte was named in the top 3 markets by Zillow, right? And then I'll show you how to add it and like put Charlotte B-roll and then the 3 reasons. So we don't have to say the 3 reasons. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So let's first figure out what's a good way to phrase that. All right. Let me go to Gemini again. And let's say I'm going to tell it to give me a hook. So what we're doing here, what's key about video that we're doing here is we're not starting the video with, hello, my name is, and I'm a real estate agent, right?
Okay.
That first 2 to 3 seconds is crucial. People are they're scrolling. They'll go so quick. So that first 2 to 3 seconds is everything. So what we want to structure it as is the hook is in the first 2 to 3 seconds. So what are you talking about, right? But doing it in a curiosity pulling way. And that's of course what we're going to have Gemini guide us on, right? And then that call to action. So introducing yourself is good at the end of the video. So I'll talk to you more about that. So typically it's the hook is the first 2 to 3 seconds. Then we have the meat of the video, so answering it. And then the call to action. What do you want them to do next about this, right? And so we're going to play with all of those. So give me a hook for my video about Charlotte being named in the top 3 markets by Zillow in the US. Okay. So you can see it'll give you different hook ideas. And it looks like these are hitting like pain points for buyers, right? Yeah, I feel like I can't buy a house, so that hits me immediately, right? So that is a good, this will be a good one. I mean, yours will give you different ones always, which is good, right? It's never the same one. So you can use one of the ones it's saying. You can use a simple one that's just like, here's 3 reasons Charlotte was just named the top free markets by Zillow. 3 reasons Charlotte. Okay, so now the goal is I want you to say one of these into your phone. So, and I,
My phone?
yes. And so we can do, I have a little tripod if you want, or you can just hold it too. So this holding it and talking to it is actually really good. They call it a friendly because it feels like we're having a face to face, you know?
Okay.
So you can either hold it in front of you. I do have a tripod you could put right here, or I have a suction cup thing that will stick your phone to the window.
Well, it's for practice. I'll
Okay.
hold it.
And I would recommend facing the window when you do this, so I'll step
Yeah,
out. Oh, you got it. You said good.
And just here's 3 reasons why Charlotte was just named the top 3 markets in Zillow. Here's 3 reasons why.
Sorry, we're not on
Oh,
video.
sorry.
Yeah, they just changed it. And do you want me to video you or you just?
Nah, it's fine with this.
Okay.
Here's 3 reasons why Charlotte has just been named one of the top 3 cities in Zillow.
Like it. Okay.
I mean, I'll have to play with that a little.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it however many times. I liked it. That was good. I really liked it. I like
Okay.
that shows your brand. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so now what we're gonna do is I would recommend airdropping it to your Mac,
Yeah.
or if it automatically saves me in photos, is it the same?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if it's automatic, that's great. So once you do it on your phone, for those of you online, right, we want to get it to our computer ideally. So you can do that if you have a Mac and an iPhone, you can airdrop to yourself, you can email it to yourself, put it in Google Drive to access it on your computer. And I'm going to show you how to do it. And I'm going to do one too so I can walk you through it. Here's 3 reasons that Charlotte was just named the top 3 markets in Zillow. Well, you get it. That wasn't right, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, so now let's go back once you're done with that, and feel free to take your time online. We are going to upload it into Canva. And two, if just one more idea to get it to your computer, if you don't have that airdrop feature, is you can upload it to the Canva app on your phone, and that would put it in here as well. Totally up to you. Okay, so and then we're gonna want to come in to the upload section and upload that file. Okay, so it will add then that video. Let's see if I have this from last time. All right, 1 second, I'll get this on my computer as well so I can show you those steps of how you can edit 2 videos together. And then you would be able to come back and redo that each time, right? There's a Charlotte update, you know, you see, oh, it's a top place for millennials or investors, whatever. You just say that first clip and then you can put it to the end where it says those 3 reasons. Okay, so let me just get a video from it. Okay, so again, in practice, you would put that video in uploads and then just drag it over to the blank screen. I'll show you kind of like that, right? And we can, if you right click on it, you can make it the whole screen. You'll see the replace background or set video as background. So they'll just take up the whole screen, even if it was shot in a horizontal frame. Okay, so let's just pretend this is a video of me talking, right? So I could come in and first of all, I could edit it. So if it's called the millennial pause, where if you start the video and you'll notice some people will pause, because right, they click record, and then they pause and then go, then they start, right? So typically we want, and since the first 2 to 3 seconds is so important, that hook, right, that can sometimes really kill the video. So really just cropping the beginning so that you don't have that pause. And you do that just simply by, you can see my cursor turns into an arrow so I can drag it, right? And then you would want to probably crop out the beginning, when I stop talking before I pressed stop recording, right? So that's the main thing there. You can split this up even, but that would be the main thing. So we have us saying that, and that automatically boosts your engagement by 36%. Is huge for relationship building and trust building on social media, especially for your sphere. Okay, and then so what we can do, and I'll show you how to add the text in a moment here. But now let's say I want to add a video of Charlotte as the second one, right? And we'll put the 3 reasons on here, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm in elements on the left hand side. This is anytime I need a new picture, stock picture, or a video, or a graphic. If I type in Charlotte video, there's a bunch of options here. And if you put your mouse over it, it'll start to play it, right? So that hook, we can put why everyone's moving to Charlotte, things like that, and then have that kind of post. I forget what this one is. Usually use this. So you can pick which Charlotte video you would like to use. And it's going to be playing, we're going to put text over it, and it's going to be playing in the background, is the idea, okay? So now those 3 reasons. Okay, so let's talk about text now. So first of all, when you have that hook, I know you were verbally saying it, but for it to perform really well for search engines and for watchability, we want to add what you're saying to the screen with text, but not like in a caption style, more as in the hook. Like, so, okay, when you go on social media, they will have like the auto captions on there.
Yes.
But what I'm talking about is, if they say like something impressive, they'll have it pop up on the screen.
Right.
And since all of these platforms are trying to compete with Google, they're trying to make things more searchable. So the more you put words that it could search, it will perform better that way. So now to add text to the video, which is very important, on the left-hand side, you'll see text option, okay? You can click add text box, but there are, I want to see if you can scroll down and see a bunch of text here, but for right now, I'll click add text box. Okay, and you can see where it's adding it, right? So that I can make sure it's showing on the entire first video. And I want this to say, let's say, something slightly different than what you're saying. So always trying to think, you can ask chat, of course, trying to phrase it slightly different than what you're saying out loud. If they're listening to it and reading something that's essentially the same thing but slightly different, it keeps them on the page because their brain's doing 2 things at once. All right, so I would want to just slightly tweak this. 3 reasons everyone is moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, let's just say. And then as far as editing the text, right, we can change the font. We can make it bigger. That's all from this top toolbar where you have it here. So I could pick any fonts here. Right, you can play around with the fonts that you want to use. Typically readability is our main thing. So less scripts and more corporate, or just prioritizing readability, right? But there are some fun fonts in here that you can play around with. We can drag it to make it bigger. We can change the colors. Okay, just to give you, this will be a next level tip for the text, so you don't have to do this. But you can also, so you'll notice, right, when I'm clicking on the element, so whatever it is, this toolbar changes. And the effects option right here has a lot of cool options for your text so that you can make it pop a little more, right? So like splice, and you can play around with these, but now I can see that a little better. And I can play with how big it is, okay? Okay. So now all I'm gonna do is come to the next video, right? And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna add those 3 reasons, okay? Now I'm gonna ask chat to tell me what those reasons are.
And go back for the PC to Apple.
Me too. Because on my Mac, I'm so quick, I barely.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
like, no way. Here go.
All the shortcuts.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's a struggle. Okay, and so we can have it, I'm gonna tell it to give it to me in a concise list. I can copy, paste on the video. Right, and now that what it gave us is good more for a newsletter, right? But I more want it to give me like things I can just simply copy and paste in, right? And of course, we can do the call to action if you want to know more about this, right? Contact me, DM me, give me a call, right? So we'll have a call to action at the end. I would, if I was actually doing this, I would play with this a little more so that I could get it to be a standalone, right? So like the job market is one of them. Let's see, the job market. So now I can come into the video that we have created. I can add the text box again, right? And I can drag it to the end. Okay, so ideally here, if I want to have 3 different ones, of course you can start with a template. Like if you see a template that already has like a list of 3 reasons, right? You can start with that to make it so the text is already there, or you can just go ahead and put it in 3 times right here. Right, and then I can rename this to, let's say, the job market. Standard of living or cost of living. And let's just say environment or lifestyle, right?
I would say climate into this room.
Good one.
North.
Climate, great one. Love it. Okay. Okay, so now you can also have it come in as a animation. So just a final tip here. You can't animate it, so it does that where it comes in one at a time automatically. So this is one of the best things to do, actually. Sorry, not effects. Depending on if you can see the whole toolbar or not, right? Depending on your screen, you might see animate up here, or you might have to click the 3 dots to see that option. But it will give you the option, actually, to do page animations. Right, that animation over here will allow you to select which animation that you want to use. Let's see. There's also usually page animations I want to show you guys. Maybe it doesn't like video. All right, so that'll make it move automatically when you come in over your video, which also helps engagement. Whenever you're adding animation, do look for the page animations here. It might be more visible, like if you're editing a picture versus a video. Right, but we can add those animations in. Of course, you can play with this, right? Make it as long as you want. And then you could add, if you want to do a call to action slide, you could absolutely do that. Okay, but really it's fine as it is. I could go ahead and click share and download it as an MP4 and post it on my social media. Now, the reason that that's a strong strategy is, first of all, your face is at the beginning. And second of all, you can switch that out every month to you're just saying a different thing and putting the new 3 things that would pertain, right? And then, I mean, if you're feeling very, confident, recording your call to action would be the best, right? Like, want to learn more, call me for blah, blah, blah. And because then you could reuse that every time too, right? And then you just slap it at the end here and it's just more effective, right?
Did you have a suggestion on how long that would be?
The total video or the call to action? around 4 or 5 seconds. So relatively short. Don't rush yourself, but I would say definitely under 10 seconds ideally. It depends on the length of the overall video too, but yeah, that's around where I'd recommend. Now, do you feel confident or comfortable speaking into your camera? I thought that was good. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, of course.
I mean, I would do it like 3, 4, 5, 6
Right.
times just to see which one plays better.
Right.
And look at each one and say, oh, you're not smiling, you're not standing straight, the lighting's not right, but yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I mean that of course would be even more effective if you explain the whole thing. Now this does a good job of switching between images. So Cocomelon, like the kids shows on YouTube, right? They always switch between screens every 3 to 4 seconds because of their short attention spans. Adults aren't different. So that's why, right? This I know, right? Like this
Kids
first.
grew up at Sesame Street. That wasn't 3 or 4
That's
seconds.
so true. That's what I watched too. Yeah. So you'll see that, but now with like social media and everything, people are attuned to that. So having each section be, around 3 to 4 seconds would be ideal. So that's where, the video Charlotte popping in, that's a different thing for 3 to 4 seconds, right? Having you talk. Now, I'm now just talking about like high level strategies, not that you need to implement. To be honest, video marketing is most effective if you can make a system around it versus, people get caught up, yeah, those videos, they take a long time, and especially editing, right? So if you can start with getting, a system created that you can do versus, 1 4-minute video every quarter, that's more effective as showing up consistently versus having the best video ever. Have you gotten on YouTube at all? Or do you want to talk about that?
I was checking it out, but because I know there are people, my mother-in-law used to live on that when she was thinking about moving to Charlotte, so I know there's audience for it, but I'm not a YouTube person. I don't watch a lot on YouTube either. It's owned by Google, so that's the strength where like, if you Google something, it pops up. And it's just, if you're making a video, you might as well put it on all the platforms. Now you have a YouTube account with your KW email. I'll show you that real quick. And I'll show you. Oh, you don't? I guess I could.
You don't have to. You could set any Gmail account would do this.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Okay, so they set my proprietary domain as the email, so all that.
Okay, yeah, so you should be able to just go, so if you go to youtube.com and you can download it, like the app on your phone too. But the main thing you'll want to note is, so when you go to youtube.com and making sure you're logged in as, whichever account you want to use, if you click your headshot, it'll either say go to channel or create a channel. If it says create a channel, just clicking create a channel and it'll walk you through like what's your name kind of thing. Now the reason that I recommend this is, so now YouTube has shorts. Have you seen those?
No.
Okay, so automatically they're trying to compete with TikTok and Facebook, right? It's now that's up and down versus YouTube is generally long form and horizontal, right?
Right.
But so now shorts, and here you'll see these. Anytime you upload a video that's under 2 minutes, they'll automatically upload as a short, right? So it's basically the same thing as the reel that you're posting. It's just then going over to the YouTube app and clicking the plus sign and putting it there as well. And then it's automatically way more searchable by Google because it owns it,
Okay.
Which is great. Okay, and then as far as if you're still online here, I know I'm over time. Sorry about that. Just to give you your free resources for me to help you further with this, kwbresources.com, and you'll see marketing help at the top. Right, you can book with us for free. The Market Center pays for it every 2 weeks, and we can help you implement each part of the system so that you are staying in front of your sphere in a way that's not taking over your life. So you can focus on your one thing. So again, book with us and I can help you one-on-one, if you need help editing videos. And just a heads up, this class is every Thursday at 12:30 and we go through each part of your system to make sure that that's set up for you. Oh, serious. Okay. So next week, and this is good because this will build on it. So what to send your database? While social media is important, it's controlled by the algorithm. You're not guaranteed to get in front of anyone, right? Emailing your database has the #1 referral return for our clients, and if you do it consistently. and do it right. So I'm going to show you what we do and how we can take, let's say, that video that we create, like the neighborhood video at the beginning. Okay, we already created it for social media. How about we send it out to our sphere? So taking the content you're already making and implementing it into a system to also get in front of them via email, right? That's what I'm going to show you next week at 12:30. If you are free, feel free to join. These are recorded, so you can always catch those on the Keller Williams Valentine YouTube channel as well. Any questions I can answer? I know that was a lot.
Not me. Looks like 3 other people out there.
Thanks, Gwen. Good to see you. Okay. Yes, and I know it's a lot for this, but that's where the next step is. Book with us and we'll sit down and do pieces of that together. Just know you're not alone in your marketing. We'll help you through it.
Outstanding. That was outstanding.
Great. I'm so glad.
Yeah, no, really.
Well, cool. Well, yeah, if you edit it or anything, need help editing it, whatever you need, just a heads up when you do book with us. We have virtual options if you need it sooner than later, but in person will be with me and then my business partner, Joel's also my sister. That's who you'll get virtually. But we always have virtual meetings like same week versus in person, usually books out a week in advance or so. But yeah, so that's how you can book with us. Do you have a coach yet?
No, they've not signed one yet.
My mom's one of the coaches. That's why I
just
asked.
onboarded on Mondays.
Okay, so yeah, brand new. Are you going through Ignite right now?
No.
Next one? Oh, it's not starting.
May, not first week of May, 5th, 6th, I think start.
Nice.
Well, I can tell you here exactly, but yeah, the May series.
Yeah, I really like Ignite because it's right, all the top agents and they're just teaching it for free, but you get to see how they do it all very differently.
That's what I
right?
wanna see.
And
Yeah, that's what I wanna see.
And I love KW culture, how much people really want to
Mhm.
help, So yeah, Ignite is awesome. Did you see too that Keller Williams was named the #2 training institute of any industry across the US?
Oh,
That might have been a couple of years ago now, but Jiffy Lube was #1 and Keller Williams was #2, which I liked. That was fun.
I talked to a lot of friends and specifically my realtor who helped me buy 6 houses.
KW?
She's lost a customer now that I'm becoming a realtor.
Yeah.
No, she was not KW. She started at EXP and now she's with that guy in Beverly Hills.
Oh, right, because you were in California.
Yeah, the Beverly Hills. She was from California too.
Oh.
But God, I forget the name of his company, but he's kind of known.
Not like Mark Spain.
No.
This is in California, you're saying?
No, they opened a branch here,
Oh.
and she went to work for this person here. But I asked her, I said, where would you recommend? She says KW. I started searching a bunch of other ones, and every time I kept coming back, it's KW. Just gotta go to KW. Gotta go to KW. And she hasn't even worked here. But yeah.
Wow.
That's for the reasons you're describing. It's the support, the training. She says,
It is.
get you going faster, better.
Right, and I mean, you go through the real estate license class and they don't really teach you
Nothing.
like, thank you for the laws, but, which is helpful. But yeah, they don't teach
Stop
A
you
to
from
Z.
getting sued.
Yeah.
Limit the chance of getting sued.
Right, yeah, more or less that.
Yeah, but
Yeah, where in Southern California did you?
Irvine, Orange County.
Okay, yeah, my best friend lives in Irvine, so
Oh.
I go out there quite a bit. Irvine's amazing, yes.
People don't think much of it because it's not, Newport Beach or
Right.
Laguna or Malibu, but second safest city in the country.
Right.
And it is I think it's the nation's largest planned unit development.
Really?
The Irvine company owns the
Wow.
restaurants, the apartments, the office buildings,
It's interesting.
and 240,000 people in a city that's basically a planned unit development. It is not like anywhere else I've seen in the country.
Right, because they're like little, she lives in, I don't know if she said villages or the neighborhoods all have their own pool,
Yeah.
community, but multiple you
Yeah.
can go to.
And it's all Irvine company.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's
interesting.
crazy. It's crazy. The streets have all been laid out in advance, and
Wow.
police department is incredible. There's no crime there.
Wow.
And it's surrounded by places like Santa Ana and some of the other higher crime areas in all. It's, if you're walking and you don't look like you belong there, they will, within probably 15 minutes, some cop will stop over and talk to you and say hello and
Make sure
help you
you're
find anything.
up to no good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pull you over. The stoplights are timed so you keep stopping because they don't want you flying through. Yeah. That's crazy.
A lot of traffic though. Around there. Takes a while to get anywhere.
It takes a while to get there, but if you leave Irvine, go anywhere on the 405 or the 5 or any of those freeways, at certain times of the day, it's just parked.
I see.
Parked.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about Southern Cali, you have to use too.
Right.
Traffic.
Just expect that.
16 lanes across, parked any time of day. Yeah,
Wow.
it's beyond comprehension.
Wow. Yeah, and do you have, like, is your sphere also in California still? Like, do you have contacts?
Yeah, I've lived all over. Spent a lot of time in Northern and Southern Cal, so I do have sphere in California, but my sphere is really limited because I've been in one industry. Like I said, the real estate thing was a hobby, so I've been in one industry.
What did you do before?
I was in the tire business, so.
Did you work with technology? You're savvy with it.
I didn't, but my undergrad's in IT, I've always had a passion for it.
Oh.
And my master's in marketing, so my degree is.
Fun?
Yeah, it is. My first IT exposure was in 1984, learning how to program PL1 on punch cards. So I've been a tech guy for.
Wow. Wow.
I am.
That's wild. Yeah, so you saw the Apple computer. Well, what year was that?
Yeah, I don't remember. They all blend together, but I mean, when somebody said the phone was gonna do this, like, sure it is. We still had cords that were long in the room, you know.
I love the cell phones that used to be in cars. Like
I had before that when it was in a briefcase. Yeah, and it's cool. You could talk for about 20 minutes and then it would go dead and you couldn't use it unless you charged it. You couldn't just plug it in. And if you charged it, it would take at least 4 or 5 hours to charge it and use it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then like cell phones, the cell phones supply all the cellular, the individual towers.
Oh.
Mobile phone that would have like strong signal, one's big tower.
That's
The
interesting.
cellular came out, yeah, I had it where it's like built into the center console where you open it up and pull out.
Yeah.
Cause that was like super cool back then.
Yeah, right. I love that.
The days.
Wow, well, that's exciting. So, I mean, as far as your sphere goes, one thing I would love to show you next meeting that we have is there's a neighborhood nurture in Command that would automatically send emails, and I'll show you